Yeah, this is going to be an absolute boomer post where my back pain and disappearing Norwood are going to show, and before people say, I know this is old news, but I've only just seen it with the report on a brand new esports arena. Console, PC, arcade, I've played on most platforms and operating systems you can think of since the final days of the Mega Drive to the modern PC. So it's safe to say I am one of the fellow gamer kids, and as a fellow gamer kid, schools doing BTECs and esports is genuinely both sad and hilarious to see. For the most part, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be another sociology period in the timetable where it's a glorified break, because ask anyone who did sociology in high school and they will tell you that the teachers didn't care and it was just an hour to kill with the odd worksheet being done just to show OFSTED work was being done. Speaking of OFSTED, this is where I bring up a thing that makes you go, The school that's made the news rounds with this esports, BTEC and brand new esports arena is Countesthorpe Academy in Leicestershire. When you look into their OFSTED rating, it's not doing too good in two areas, one being the special educational needs students, and even there half of the time, and the regular students that are there are horrible bastards with poor behaviour. Colour me sceptical, but I personally believe that the school made the stupid BTEC course and built this arena just so they could fix those problems and generate PR to get a better OFSTED rating, and they don't actually have the kids' interest at heart. Because when a school has no kids being enrolled into it, or it gets a shit OFSTED rating, they can say bye-bye to their funding, and if they say bye-bye to their funding, the school closes down. Damage control, basically, I 100% believe it's just a form of damage control. I know I'll get some less educated parents who think all consoles are Nintendo systems saying, but if it works, what's the problem? First, if they're still getting a needs improvement score from OFSTED a year after launching the eSports BTEC curriculum, clearly it isn't working. Second, and my main problem, they don't need to make up a useless BTEC diploma and spend a shit ton of money on an eSports arena. Just hire good teachers, because whatever social and educational improvement Countesthorpe Academy is looking for, it can come from the teachers, because while I agree there's a 180 shift in that parents used to berate kids for getting poor scores, and now teachers are abused because it's somehow their fault the parents make the kids' home life shit, and I can sympathise with the teachers' shit pay, that's not an excuse to just hand out freaking package, yo. You gotta make them kids learn by touching their freaking hearts, man. You got to engage with them, yo. Seriously, think back to being at school. You had a spectrum of teachers where on one end you had that one teacher everyone loves, they can have a laugh with or getting work done, use the lessons to basically do homework for you, so you weren't given said homework, and you were always down to be in their classes. Then on the other end, you had this absolute try-hard wanker who takes the misery of their failing marriage out on the students, no fun is allowed in the class, and everyone would rather go out for a cig behind the bike shed than deal with that. All schools like Countesthorpe need to do is look at which teachers are the cool fun ones and get other teachers to do that. You know, speaking to colleagues. That very adult thing to do, which kids should be learning. Screw that though, because miserable teachers only need to try when they have a pre-warning that OFSTED is coming in.
I'm sure everyone's experienced this, as I have. You can have some shit, lazy teacher who always teaches in one boring, shit, monotonous way, but whenever there's a guest at the back of the room observing him, he completely changes. There's more activities that he normally never does. There's group activities, there's mini assessments, there's everything. He even talks different. Alright, you little bastards, everyone get out your textbooks and turn to page 69. Okay, class, listen. Today we're gonna learn about 3D shapes. So, we're all going to Egypt to learn about pyramids. Yay! This used to happen when I was a kid and I didn't really appreciate it, but I've been working in a school for the past year, so I'm privy to this information, right? So let me fill you in. Standard teaching practice in some countries is that you get external governing bodies like OFSTED that come in to observe how teachers are doing and to basically assess teachers and tell them, oh, you're good, you're outstanding, or you're shit, right? But the dumb part is they tell you in advance, like, oh, listen, we'll be checking you out on Tuesday, period 4, and because the teacher knows they'll be being observed, they'll go out of their way to make a crazy good lesson, but when they're not being observed, they have some dog shit lesson. So you'll get some teachers that are crap, but because they're told, oh, we're going to check you out on Tuesday at 7 o'clock, they'll go out of their way and spend literally, some people have told me, 4 hours planning the fucking lesson, whereas they'll spend about 10 minutes on the other ones. This alone makes monitoring teachers so fucking dumb. If you actually want to monitor teachers, right, fucking surprise them.
I'm not completely against the idea of the esports arena though. If they want to spend the money on the arena and have it as a lunch break after school activity or something teachers can book in if the class has behaved enough, similar to when the CRT TV was promised if the class was behaved, that's fair enough. Because when I was at high school, our IT teacher actually set up Unreal Tournament LAN parties or Unblocked RuneScape if the class was good enough, and other teachers were making deals with him. Did it always get the teachers the results they wanted? No, because someone would try to start a fight after rage quitting, or if there was a big gossip, kids wouldn't shut the fuck up, but it did work for the most part. I don't ask for perfection from schools, it's actually those little imperfections that help kids learn, like when they're being screwed over, such as your drama teacher flat out ignoring you, trying to do better with the whole ignoring the only kid putting his hand up shtick, or after being severely bullied all week, when I finally have enough and throw a left hook that hard I practically clothesline one of the kids. Don't worry Vincent, you're not suspended, you're just being sent home for a 3-day cooling off period. That's a suspension, numbnuts! But you need to have teachers, support teachers, all staff actually engage with kids and not just follow curriculum, because then the school becomes far from perfect. And as you can all tell with those little repressed memories, I loved my high school, and those wondering, no, the kid as well as the group he was in did not bully me again afterwards. Remember kids, violence isn't the answer until it is, so root through your dad's cupboard to see if there's a way to deal with all the other kids and their pumped up kicks. A lot of people can take everything said up until now as me being anti-esport, where I know I'll get the headache of, but Vincent, with how long you've been a gamer, you should know how long esports has been a thing. I am fully aware how long it's been a thing, because before we had Ready Player One as a pseudo esports film, we had an actual esport film called The Wizard, and before all these Rocket League and CSGO tournaments, we had the Nintendo World Championships, which, by the way, why the fuck has Nintendo not done one since 2017? While I did have an issue with esports at one point, to quote Kevin Nash quoting the Bible, I grew some grey hairs, and with grey hair comes wisdom. I don't have an issue with esports itself anymore, as I can see the thrill of the money and the sponsorships, but the MLG try-hard mindset has definitely corrupted online gaming, where people think shit-throwing in Call of Duty lobbies was toxic. I'd much rather throw and be called racial slurs every 0.3 seconds than deal with some MLG try-hard, because I can tell you from experience, I actually knew a mate like this once, and he was just the fucking worst to play looter shooters with. I always thought it was just me being an arsehole and being impatient, thinking we were spending more time waiting for him to set everything up than playing the game, until I was in a server with one of his mates, and his mate called him out on it, that he was getting bored and he just wanted to play. And when I joined in on the grilling, he left, and me and his mate became mates, and we actually enjoyed the game together, instead of hearing an hour of, if you get this gun for this boss, it will really work out, so we'll get you that gun first, Vince, then we need to complete these missions to unlock this portal. Yeah, you get the idea. Insufferable MLG tryhards like that do not make gaming fun or even a good experience, so when you create a BTEC diploma in esports, especially with the Dunning-Kruger effects you've seen in kids today, what kind of people do you think that can make? And even if you want to be hopeful in that it makes really cool people, the problem still lies in that gaming is being taken way too fucking seriously. I play games to relax, I play games to have fun, I play games to pass the time, I play games to switch off to listen to a podcast. There are many reasons to play. Being a serious, legitimate athlete was never one of them. I didn't play MechWarriors 2 on Windows 98 or WCW Mayhem on PlayStation 1 yesterday going, I need to train hard and mentally exhaust myself. I played it to have a great time. Just as I don't play Helldivers 2 or installing, as I'm currently writing this today, Marvel Rivals, with the mindset of, I need to be mentally stressed. I just want to spread managed democracy and make Venom go This isn't to confuse general gaming rage with MLG tryhards, because are there challenges, trophies and achievements in games that piss me off so much it makes me want to skull fucking orphan on top of the parents' graves, especially if I'm doing a 100% achievement run? Absolutely. But they are optional challenges in the game where once you've done it, it's over, and even if you are a toxic motherfucker who deliberately chooses to be a completionist for tryhard and or broken games, it's only you that has to deal with you, instead of everyone else, unless you want to stream to be an internet lolcow like Darkside Phil. I know as I'm now getting older and will increasingly get more sick, I'm going to run out of time as I need to do other stuff and I won't really have the energy and motivation for gaming. But while I had fun learning new no-no words over the years, I dread to think of the next generation of gamers that come from esports BTECs and how they'll make gaming as fun as a pet being put down.